Coming to you live from the Cowboys headquarters in Frisco. Deep in the heart of Texas, it's the Star at Night.
Wow, dramatic much?
Why are you getting in the way of my intro?
You mean our intro? We're your hosts. I'm Kelsey Charles.
And I'm David Hellman.
Okay, let's just start this show now.
What is up, party people? Welcome to another edition of the Star at Night. I'm your host, Kelsey Charles, joined by the one and only esteemed David Hellman.
Take that, Zoom.
Yeah.
We're doing 2 studio shows this week.
Look at us. Moving on up in the world. Dave, it's a short week, and so I am kind of shocked about how quickly this game is approaching.
I honestly love it. Monday, we just got rid of it.
Yeah.
It just didn't count. We're on. We're moving forward.
Sure.
Time to play another game.
Wow. I mean, he likes pain. All the rest of us are facing a little bit of whiplash. It's fine, though, because we are here to prepare you for what to expect come Carolina time at noon on Sunday. So let's dive in. Sam Darnold. I feel like the narrative around this man when he was wearing a different color jersey was the ghosts that this poor guy kept seeing every time he would step foot on the field. Well, it feels like those ghosts have dissipated, and at least they're Casper-friendly ghosts at this point. How different does Darnold look in Carolina blue, my friend?
Let me just stick to my bummer personality and point out, as bad as he might have been as a Jet, he beat the Dallas Cowboys in 2019, in case anybody forgot.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome for that trip down memory lane. No, Sam Darnold looks really comfortable. Love to give a little bit of credit to my guy Joe Brady, the mastermind of the championship-winning LSU offense of 2019.
Of course.
I really do think that's a big part of it. Play calling, comfortability. It's not like the Panthers have this amazing offensive line, but you can tell Joe Brady is putting him into positions to succeed. He's got some skill players to help as well.
Okay, well, let's talk about those skill players some more. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, 2 names you're going to be hearing a lot of. Why are you already, smirking? I feel like you have something to say.
I mean, Robbie Anderson was on that Jets team, too, and he hit the Cowboys for a 90-yard touchdown. So I just don't come at me like these guys can't play, because some of them have already beaten the Cowboys before. DJ Moore, underrated player coming out of the University of Maryland, a draft crush of mine with a capital C. Very versatile guy. He's going to get a lot of touches in this game.
Okay, so running backs, though, because we always hear about Christian McCaffrey, and, if you're a fantasy owner, then you're really upset that he's not on the field right now. So the running game looks a little different for Carolina. What can we expect in that regard?
I do think that, all right, I've been kind of dogging the Cowboys, but I think this is a favorable situation, and not just because McCaffrey's out. Obviously, you don't need me to tell you that he's good. But the thing is, Joe Brady loves to use the running back as a safety blanket. He did it at LSU. Christian McCaffrey already had 16 receptions when he got hurt last week, and that was early in the game, so targeted a lot. It's an easy safety blanket to have. I don't know if Chuba Hubbard is that guy. If he is, we haven't seen it yet, so I wonder if you don't have such a convenient outlet, maybe that makes it more difficult on Darnold.
Okay, so switching gears, because I feel like, I love the historical aspect you're bringing to the table when it comes to the LSU. I know you're deep down loving this too.
Really just want to pat myself on the back about that team. But yeah, go ahead.
We'll talk about defense, which is something you can't bring in reference in terms of LSU. Sorry for the low-key kind of burn there, but their defense is pretty good in Carolina. Matt Rule, that's where his history began in the league, and they're only allowing 191 yards offensively. They're number 1 across the board in terms of rush and passing defense. So are we concerned? Because we do have this high-powered offense over here in Dallas, but are they going to be able to shut it down?
We should be concerned about this front. I'll tell you that, Kelso Chuck. If you didn't see, guess what? Interior pressure bothers this offensive line right now. We talked with Duke Manyweather earlier this week about Tyler Biadasz. Connor Williams got called for some holds last week against Philly. And granted, they played some good players. But guess what? Derek Brown, nice player. Brian Burns, one of the more underrated sack artists in the league right now. He's got 3 already through 3 games. And that doesn't even include Hassan Reddick, who I think gets lost in the shuffle a little bit.
Underrated.
Actually played for Matt Rule at Temple way back when. So if you think somebody knows how to use him, it's probably Matt Rule. So yeah, blocking the front, dealing with all the stuff they're going to throw at him up front is primary concern number 1 for me.
All right, so we got my questions out of the way. Now we want to get to your questions with a little bit of mail time. That is coming up next in our next segment, so go ahead and stick with us.
Kels, we talked about it on the way out of the last segment. I can't get too far into it because I don't want to get sued about copyright. But
Sure.
like, did you see the Blues Clues video where Steve came back?
Like, that was a moment in time for many millennials, including myself.
Can we top it here? Because we're, after a long hiatus of a year, not 20 years, but we're bringing back our own mail time. If you want to do the song, you can. We don't have to.
Mail time!
All right. Patent lawyers, copyright lawyers, leave us alone. We're just
fine.
trying to have fun. But we're taking fan questions like we teased on Twitter. We're going to jump right into it with the first one from Mike. He says, how much better will the offense be when Michael Gallup comes back? All due respect to Michael Gallup, do you kind of feel like you forgot about him a little bit?
I mean, come on. This was the whole topic of conversation last year. It was like, are we trading Michael Gallup? Listen, I think at the end of the day, this offense has obviously been firing on all cylinders without him. And at the same time, though, I think Dak has done such a good job in his role this year of spreading out the offense. Another weapon will only be positive.
I think what you're missing is the deep shot element, particularly on the outside. So yes, I do think so. Next question, please. Tony, oh, I know Tony, friend of the show, Tony Catalina says,
What's up, Tony?
while we understand the talent that Tyler Biadasz has had to face so far this season, does his play warrant the Cowboys to look at other options at center? I've heard a lot of people worrying about this, and listen, wow, I just stole your catchphrase.
You did.
Listen. Tyler Biadasz, I think it's fair to say that he's had his hands full the first few weeks of the season. I think it's also fair to say that he's playing a bunch of badasses, the likes of Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox, Vita Vea. The list goes on and on. Ndamukong Suh, forgot about him.
Right.
I'm not ready to panic just yet.
I'm not either, and I think, again, like, to steal some of your lines since you just stole some of mine, you mentioned earlier on one of your shows, you were like, listen, this guy's only played 7 games at the pro level as a starter, and why, I feel like we're just trying to throw in the towel on him already, and I think you're expecting him to be Travis Frederick off the bat, and that's not realistic. I do feel like, unfortunately, with an O-line, the weakest link is going to be, a point of contention, so he definitely has to step it up, but I'm not ready to just go full cancel him already.
Quick point, just to make producer Caden happy because he threw in Connor Williams' B-roll. You saw Connor Williams at center in the preseason. It was not pretty. No, thank you. Next question, please.
Wow.
Timothy says, if Parsons was listed as edge in the draft, would he still fall to 12? Oh, I love this question.
Great question, Timothy.
I love this question, and I think the answer is no way in hell. If you listed him as a rush linebacker, like a stand-up linebacker like we've seen in the mold of Von Miller, I think he's a top 6 pick. I think you're absolutely right.
I would love to have gotten Will McClay's take on this. Just interesting. And I mean, he was just in here filming his own show. But I mean, honestly, I have to agree with you. But it is so impressive to see the position flex this guy has. You would never know this is not his natural place that he lines up. And quite honestly, I am here for it.
Thank you to the draft gurus. I mean, a little bit of that is because Micah didn't play edge in college. It's not like people were lying. They just didn't know he could do this. Nice little break of good luck for the Cowboys that it worked out that way. On to the next one, please. Andrew Morris says, will Jabril Cox take over for Jalen Smith's spot? He says 9 spot, but we know who that is.
Right.
9 is Tony Romo. No offense, Jalen.
It's so true.
Jalen Smith's spot on the field at some point this season. I don't think so. And like everybody expects me to say yes because Jabril Cox went to LSU. I'm going to whisper this. Jalen Smith is quietly not playing poorly through 3 weeks this year.
Okay. I mean, listen, I don't feel like anyone expected the Cowboys to just go away, come out of this draft with the level of talent they did at the linebacker position. So I definitely feel like I'd love to see him integrated more. But you're right. I mean, no one's really calling for his job like they were last season where they're like, are we done with this yet? So, I wouldn't hate it if the opportunity arose and the necessity was there, but quite frankly, I don't think it's a need.
Here's the beauty of it. The opportunity will arise because it's a long season and people get hurt. So he'll have his opportunity to play if I had to guess, but I'm not dying to take Jalen off the field right now. All right, we're dragging on. One last question, please. Michael says you had to get a Cowboys player's number tattooed on you. Who, all time, and where? Or maybe just a cowboy tattoo. It doesn't have to be the number, right? You can't hold me to that.
Since I'm the queen of tragic tattoos, I feel like I should be able
You
to
get a tattoo just, I could just say, hey, let's get a tattoo right now, and you'd be like, yeah, sure. So this isn't even hard for you.
It really isn't. I mean, I think the obvious answer is 88 because it's the everlasting Cowboys tattoo. Are you kidding me? If you want a baller, then you go 88 because it's historically a great number for players. And in the future, it's going to continue to be a legacy for this team. 88 all day. That is my final answer.
I'm going to have to think about this for the future, but I always said when he was on the team, if the Cowboys ever got to the Super Bowl while Jeff Heath was here, I was going to get a 38 tattoo with a goat around it because he is the goat.
You slay me.
So, like, I'd probably still do that
Okay.
just for my guy, but
I like that.
I mean, you have to put the past in the past. I'll brainstorm on this and think of something new. So when we do this again,
Sure.
we'll do a tattoo segment, and I'll come up with.
I thought you were about to say we'll do a tattoo. I mean, listen,
No,
we might.
You never know. We could do a tattoo segment where we go get these tattoos.
My face on your arm.
I'm glad you said arm. All right, we'll be right back after this. Appreciate it.
Hey guys, welcome back to the final segment. Host David Hellman, Kelsey Charles. We're here to wrap it up with you guys with our favorite game this season, or yours at least.
I get excited when I win things. Doesn't happen very often.
It's fine. It's a long season. I'm in second place right now. Dave's in first. And the fans, you guys are in last. It's our under review segment and our standings. Listen, guys, don't worry. We are not that far behind Dave as a total.
Right now you're not.
Okay.
But you will be.
All I'm trying to say is that we cannot let him win. So the questions for this week, we're going to dive in. Dave, I need to get your thoughts on this. Trayvon Diggs interception. I mean, we know the man's doing well. It's just, it's a fact. So
And some hardware for it, if you recall.
he did get some hardware for it. Well earned, well deserved. So over under half an interception.
This is how I separate myself from y'all.
I know where you're going with this.
Y'all are gonna take him to get another one.
No, I'm not.
Well, so you're taking after me. 4 games in a row is unprecedented territory. That's hard to do. It's not a knock on Trayvon Diggs. I'm just playing the numbers, and that's how you win games like this. So I'm gonna say under.
Okay, I am also going to say under because I do believe that he is going to actually get more than you say he is, but I don't think it's going to happen this week.
So what do the fans think?
Fans!
See, this is why y'all are in last. This is why y'all are losing. That's okay. Maybe you'll win this time, but history suggests not.
Listen, I appreciate the optimism, especially again in light of the hardware from this week. So that is our first question for you guys. Coming up next, our next one for you, CeeDee Lamb. All right, so receptions. We're going to talk about how many this young man, 88, going to get that tattoo on my body, is going to get this week. Over under 6.5.
6.5. Ooh,
That's a lot.
that's a good number. That's almost like a Vegas-like number. He was under last week. Kind of disappeared after the long catch at the beginning. I'm going to say over. I'm going to say 7 or 8. I think he's got it in him.
Ah, dang. I hate to take your side too, but I kind of believe the same.
Are you just making the same picks as me so that you can't fall behind?
No, I just don't have a ton of faith in Carolina's secondary. I don't think that they're really going to be the match that this offense could give them. I don't think that the people they faced previously are going to be the threat that this Cowboys offense presents, especially with the wide receiving core. So, yeah, I'm going to go over. And with Amari not fully 100%,
Okay.
I think a lot of that rests on CeeDee Lamb to make some things happen. All right, so the fans, they agree with us.
Nice.
They're over 70.8%.
Yeah, it feels like a Lamb game to me.
Yeah,
I'm down with that.
Mike had, I was trying to think of like a Mike had a little lamb. It just
No,
felt really flat.
Jerry had a little lamb.
Or Kellen had a little lamb.
No, Jerry had a little lamb. It's too.
Kellen had a little. Okay,
Please
all
don't
right.
sing on the
Let's
show.
go ahead and move to the next one so I can save myself from all of that. All right, let's talk about over under total points. These two are going to be a big part of making this happen, but do we think this Cowboys and Panthers game is going to be a high-scoring shootout? 50.5 over under David.
I hate to break it. I see this being kind of an ugly game. I do think it's a Cowboys win. Don't get me wrong, but this Panthers front is going to be tough to deal with.
Sure.
It's a good defense, even if their secondary might be a little overhyped. And then the Dallas defense has been playing well also. I see this as like a 28-24 type of game, and Can I do math? Is that 20, 48?
The answer is no.
No, because that would be over.
Yeah.
No, then that's not. Then it's 24-20. 24-20 feels like the score to me.
Okay.
And that's under. I'm taking under, even though I can't do math.
Fine. Just because I feel like I've literally taken everything that you've done and repeated it in this segment, I'm going to go over and really hope that
Thank God.
Dak is just going to score a ton of points and Carolina's going to score none. But you know what?
The fans are with me on this one,
The fans
though.
are with you on this.
I love it.
No. Oh, yeah, they are. I got confused.
Wow, neither one of us can do math. It's
Listen,
fine.
it's totally fine. We're both educated, but it's a little TBD on if
One
it
of
pays
us
off or
is
not.
in business school right now. And,
Anyways, you guys, this was fun. We appreciate you joining us.
Oh, I'm exiting the show. I'm exiting. I appreciate you thinking that I wouldn't, though. But hey, hopefully the Cowboys will still be on a win streak when we come back for next week's show. This was fun. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.